Thank you, Yuri, very much for this nice introduction. Hi guys. As most of you is probably used to already, my name is Susanna and I'm the product manager for Resco Inspection. So let's have a look what's been new in the summer release and what new cool features and developments we have prepared for you. Generally, our focus has been on making it easier and more accurate for you to create the job processes that are already maybe incorporated in your company and to recreate this within the questionnaire designer. Why am I talking about the job process now? Basically, when you look at the questionnaire template, it's not just a mobile form or a place where you got the data, but it's also some kind of process that you're trying to develop and perform electronically. So this is one of the reasons why we introduce question scoring. We have come across many scenarios where the questionnaire template wasn't only, as I mentioned, a place where you got the data, but there was always some kind of a result that came out of the questionnaire. Sometimes you needed to score different questions and then decide whether the inspection has been actually performed well or it has failed. And that's why we have introduced this directly in the questionnaire designer, where you can assign scores to individual questions and then configure your custom result. And further on, you can use it in your analysis and statistics or maybe trigger additional actions within your job processes. So what are the main benefits or where can you use that? So as I mentioned, first use is, let's say you have some kind of questionnaire template that has a threshold where you would like to say, okay, this inspections or this job, which is interpreted by the questionnaire, has failed or has passed. You have different questions within the templates. Obviously, not every question, when it's answered negatively, has an impact on the whole job process that it would fail. And also, as I mentioned, you can use this result as a custom trigger for any other actions directly in your job process, or maybe even within the questionnaire designer, you can do additional calculations based on scores or influence visibility of different questions. And we already have some real-life use cases. This has been actually asked for within you as our partners. One of them is FMCG project, where basically an inspector comes to a store and he would like to assess whether the store complies with the contract and whether the products are positioned on the right place on the shelf because they want to gain more promotion. And for this, we've seen several use cases for scoring, where basically they can just assess whether the store really puts the product on the shelf that they paid for. Another case we can see this being used in is, for example, like quality control or quality assessment. So basically you can imagine items being manufactured and then all of them have to go through some kind of a quality control, where you can also say, okay, when I ask for these 10 questions with a no, then basically the whole inspection has failed. One of the real-life scenarios we have also seen is, for example, a restaurant that is getting a discount from their suppliers in case some requirements are met. So let's say someone from the supplier chain will come to a restaurant and they can see that their brand is being promoted, and the questionnaire template can just tell them, yeah, this place is eligible for a discount. So this is all real life use cases. We have seen this being used in or even asked for. So let me now show you a quick demonstration on how this is set up and where you can find this scoring feature. This video I'm going to show you is pre-recorded, but I'm going to guide you through it verbally, so don't worry in case you didn't understand anything. So basically this is my inspections environment, and I'm going into my questionnaire designer. And I'm going to show you this on a template that is already ready for you in the environment as well, and it's a health and safety assessment. You can see there's a button saying score that you can enable. By enabling this button, you can now input a score to basically every question or every answer. So let's say I want my yes answer to have a score of 1 point. And if I answer no to this question, I'll get 0 points. You can also see there is a maximum score for each question displayed, even if you don't click on the input. And of course, within option set, you can basically do the same. You can assign points to each answer within the option set. There are also, of course, some question types that require only an input, that there is no option set and or checklist or something. Let's say it's a signature question, and here you assign a score in case this question was answered. What you can also do, but it's just optional, it's not necessary, is that if you want to display the result of the question directly in the template in the app for the worker, you can of course work with the result in the rules and just assign this value to the text question. We did not find it totally necessary for the worker to know the score. No, that's why it's not there by default, but you can of course use it and also perform further calculations with your score. At the end of the template in Designer, you can see some kind of a footer, which is not visible in the app. And you can see the maximum range your questionnaire can reach. And this is the last step of your configuration, where basically you're just going to configure what kind of result is based on the score. This is fully customizable, so you can choose any kind of result you want. It's basically just a string that says, I don't know, passed, failed, not satisfactory, or anything that your job process is using already. So if I get points between 0 and 12, I would say my questionnaire has been not satisfactory. I'm gonna save and close. And let's have a look in the application. So I'm just gonna find my template and quickly fill it out. This is a health and safety template that we have already prepared for you in the inspections environment. And let me just go through the checklist. And basically, I think most of the questions have score of maximum of 1. And it's just basically checklist to see whether the health and safety regulations have been followed. I also put a score of 1 when you inputted a picture with a tagged image. And when I go down, you can also see at the bottom there's the result at this moment would be not satisfactory. But let me take a signature, and the result is satisfactory now. I'm completing with the report. And of course, you can see the result at the bottom of the report at the same place the question was used. As I said, this was optional. Of course, everything is done on the backend when it comes to scoring, so you don't have to display it necessarily. But if you go to any kind of view for answered questionnaires, you can see the result directly in the view. That's how we configured the projects for you as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration. And I have a quick poll for you right now, so I hope you're staying with me. And I'd like to ask Yuri, which is my assistant at the moment, to show you the poll.
Okay, so I'm launching the poll. You should be seeing it right now on your screen, so please select one of the options. And by this, let us know how many real-life scenarios can you think of where this feature, questionnaire scoring, would come in handy. Okay, very good. So we are collecting some responses.
Okay, it's looking good, guys. Thank you very much for responding. If you have not responded yet, please do so now. We do find this feature really valuable, and the reason why we've developed it is that you actually asked for it.
Okay, so I'm going to close the poll now and share with you the results. So you should be seeing on the screen that most of you could think actually of 1 up to 3 different scenarios for this feature.
Okay, that's very good news. I'm glad to hear that. I see some of you also could think of the scenario 4 and more in projects or just in our simply questionnaires where you can use it. So thank you very much for answering this poll. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay, so
okay, this takes me to a second major feature within inspections or questionnaire designer itself, and it's called the duration tracking. Here we focused more on bringing more insights to the managers or supervisors of the plant, or basically anyone who is dealing with the basically the end result of the manual workers. Basically, our manager supervises the jobs, and he wants to gather more info, more data, more insights that he can work with later on. So what we decided to develop was basically an automatic duration tracking, which we can also translate as an information about how long it takes to finish a certain job or certain questionnaire. Here we are talking about the questionnaire execution time. It means that every time someone opens a questionnaire template in the application, it starts measuring the time until the moment the questionnaire is completed. If the questionnaire is just saved, this time is excluded. So it's really the actual time the worker has been working on this questionnaire. Motivation behind this was basically we think that this can help you identify any kind of problematic steps within your job process. You have several questionnaires, and let's say some of them really take on average much more time than the others, and maybe they shouldn't have. And also on the other hand, you can identify the performance any performance differences between different workers. Let's say really one worker spends much more time on the same questionnaire template than the others, and we feel that you really can work well with this kind of data afterwards. I have one quick demonstration for you for duration tracking as well. And I thought the best way to show this to you is to go into a result viewer, as this duration is basically just additional field within questionnaire entity. And as you can see here, since we incorporated this feature, the time is measured automatically. And also, as you can see here, also score and result, which is additional fields within the questionnaire, which you can also filter through in the results viewer. Let's say I want to see all questionnaires that have been completed within 1 minute. This is also included in the header, and if you wish, you can of course include this in the mobile reports for the end customer if this kind of information is relevant for them. What you can also of course do is filter through the results of the results of your choice. Even if you don't use result viewer as your go-to tool or analytical tool, you can of course use this kind of information, retrieve it from the data, and just carry on in any other analytics of your choice. So these were our 2 major features. I hope you like them. I think they're extremely valuable, both for managers and also for the workers. There has been some other improvements as well that I think are worth mentioning. First of them is right now you can also edit options in our option list, which is a big hooray from our side because this has been quite cumbersome that you couldn't just edit your options in the option set inline. So I hope you're happy for that, those that are using it. Second thing worth mentioning is that now in Dynamics and Salesforce you can access our very nice templates that you can either use as a base for demonstration or for any other templates that you want to create from them. And basically these are templates from different industry verticals, and I think they're really pretty to use. And last but not least, we also have incorporated a chance to change your view for lookup questions. As you see on the right in the application, this is basically the view you can now configure directly into Designer in case you need some different kind of information displayed there. Because until now, this has been taken directly from Woodward and you couldn't do much from it. So now it is available in the questionnaire Designer. And please, guys, do not hesitate and click on the bit.ly link. I promise it's not a malware. It takes you directly to Resco website, and you will see some further information about inspections, and you can read also more insights and more technical info if you're interested in that. And from my side, basically, this is it. Thank you very much for listening to me. And let me now introduce you to you my other colleague, which is also called Zuzana, but she's a head of innovation and she has some really cool stuff to tell you. So stay tuned.